You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports, and we are getting into our Week 6 previews and predictions. Let's discuss how the New Orleans Saints can get another win over the New England Patriots. Maybe take that win streak from 1 to 2 games in a row. We also got some very, very impactful injury news around a key defensive player on the Patriots defense, so we're going to get to that momentarily. But let's give you the preview of this matchup, the Patriots of New England. They are 3.5-point favorites in this game. 46.5 is the total over-under. That's what the numbers are set. New Orleans is going to be bringing in the Patriots, Drake MAye, who just took down the Bills in Buffalo on Monday Night Football. It was Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. I'm just all over the place. But they took him down in prime time in Buffalo. Huge win for New England, and now they have to head on down to the Superdome. And y'all remember what happened last time the Saints and the Patriots played, 2023? Tyrann Mathieu pick 6. Kendre Miller had a touchdown. Foster Moreau had a touchdown. It was so much fun. And if you want to repeat this 34-0 absolute butt kicking, smash the thumbs up icon and drop a like on this video. Now here's the injury report for both of these two teams as of right now. We're filming this Thursday live on Saints Now by Chat Sports. The Thursday injury report has not dropped, but we do have some very key information around some of these teams. Isaac Yiadom did not participate on Thursday. Chase Young, he participated today as well. And in terms of the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara practiced today. He popped up on the injury report on Wednesday, but he looked like he was practicing as normal. Devon Godshaw had his usual Thursday down day, and Chase Young, like I said, was participating. But there is a new name in New England that has popped up on the injury report, and I think that the Saints may have just caught a break because Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback, who's very, very talented, he just popped up on the injury report on Thursday, and I don't think that this is great news for the New England Patriots considering how good of a player Christian Gonzalez is. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury throughout this season, and he's only been active in 2 games so far, but he is a player that is a massive difference maker, and he's somebody that I'm really, really high on. I think that he's a guy who could cause a lot of problems for the Saints offense if he's available. Don't know whether or not he will play, but the reports coming out of Patriots practice, you see it right here. Participated in the initial stretching and the start of the individual drills. Then he left the main practice field during the media access portion of the practice. The media's not able to watch all the practices. They're usually able to see like 20 to 30 minutes of it. Christian Gonzalez left the main practice field during that time. Did not return to practice, and he was not on the injury report Wednesday. He pops up on Thursday. So that is some interesting information. That is definitely worth monitoring, and we will be keeping you guys informed on what's going on here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications because when the injury report is finalized on Friday, we'll have more information. And if there's anything notable to share, this is the place to be. So let's get into the preview. How can the Saints get a win? I think that part of the fun of doing a preview is getting to know your foe. So before we get into my keys to victory and the score predictions, let's just see how these two squads match up. Now, offensively, the New Orleans Saints are starting to find their identity, and they're starting to see some success. And, of course, there is a lot that's been left desired in this Saints offense, but I think that they're starting to find their groove, if you will. And the Patriots defense, it's a pretty solid squad. They do struggle in the red zone, so if you're able to get inside the 20, you have a pretty good shot of converting there, but you can see the New Orleans Saints has struggled to score touchdowns and, quite frankly, points in the red zone. Blake Grupe just keeps missing field goals. Gotta quit doing that, man. That's just ridiculous. But the Patriots defense, not that great on third down. They're towards the bottom of the league in yards per play. They do not allow a lot of points. So in my eyes, how I interpret this is the Patriots defense, a lot like the Saints, they bend, but they do not break. Now let's flip the script and look at the Saints defense versus Drake MAye and the Patriots offense. Now the Saints defense does give up 27 points per game, and the Patriots offense scores 25 points per game. So somewhere, some way, one of these two teams is going to have to give, and I think that the New Orleans Saints are a team that could give them some issues defensively. They're coming off of a very, very hot performance against the Giants where they forced 5 consecutive turnovers, and if the Saints can find some similar success and they can create explosive plays on both sides of the field, I think that this is a really, really interesting matchup for New Orleans. And I'm not going to sit here and say that this is a definite shoe-in win for the Patriots. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a team that in week 1 lost to the Raiders. And the Raiders are dog shit. And I get that it was week 1, but good gracious. Like, you beat the Dolphins barely. You lost to the Steelers. They're not that great. I mean, congrats, I guess, on beating the Panthers. The Falcons seem to be the only team who can't do that. In week 5 against the Bills, I'll say it's a good win. But it's not like they've had an absolute gauntlet to start the season. They've had a pretty easy start. And 3-2 is a nice record, but you're telling me I'm shocked that the losses are to the Raiders and to the Steelers. Like, that's just crazy to me. So I do think this is a good test for New Orleans. They're getting healthy at the right time. They're starting to find their groove offensively. They're starting to build a lot of confidence defensively. You're seeing the emergence of some young players and some young stars, and I really do believe that this is a matchup that's really not that easy to predict. I think if the Saints play a good game, this really could be a tough battle between these two squads. Now, I want to get into my keys to victory because the first things first, we talked about how the Saints just came off of a performance. 5 straight drives with turnovers. Do that again. I don't care how you do it, but do it again. That would be awesome. It would be so sick. And, you know, the New Orleans Saints are a team who does a good job protecting the football for the most part. Shockingly enough, they only have 5 total turnovers this season, 3 on the ground, 2 interceptions. They've only lost 1 fumble, and one of those interceptions was Chris Olave throwing the ball on a trick play. Their turnover ratio right now is +5, whereas the Patriots' turnover ratio right now is -1. The Patriots have lost 5 fumbles. They've dropped the ball 8 total times. They've thrown 2 interceptions on this season. So the New Orleans Saints have the ability to potentially force a lot of problems and a lot of turnovers against the Patriots, who have a huge fumbling problem. Ramondre Stevenson cannot keep his hands on the football. He's like Eddie or whatever. I can't remember his name from Longest Yard. I got butter on my fingers. I just ate popcorn. You know, he's like that guy. He's not Cheeseburger Eddie. That's Terry Crews' character. Whatever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. My point being, the Patriots are a team that lacks ball security, and the New Orleans Saints just recently proved that they are a team who can pounce on explosive opportunities to force turnovers. And I think that right now, the New Orleans Saints need to find a way to turn the ball over and to create points in New Orleans. And this is breaking news coming in from Adam Schefter. Shout out to Loco Lopez. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo. Literally happening as we filmed. Remember, we just said that Christian Gonzalez popped up on the injury report on Thursday. It has now been confirmed he was limited with a hamstring injury. He was full yesterday. He was limited today on Thursday. That is the breaking news around Christian Gonzalez. Wanted to make sure you guys were squared away and understood the information there. Now, getting back to the turnovers, Christian Gonzalez is unavailable. The Patriots might have a hard time forcing some of those turnovers. But the Saints defense, they created a ton of momentum last week. Again, you had 5 straight drives where you forced a turnover. Fumbles, interceptions, failed 4th down conversions. If you want to add that last one into the mix, 6 straight drives where the team turned the ball over due to either a mistake or to failed conversions on 4th downs. So in my personal opinion, the Saints have an opportunity to do something crazy here. I would love to see them walk out with the win. And I don't want you to sit here and think that the Patriots are definitely going to run all over us, because I don't know if they will. I'm pretty convinced that the Saints actually might be able to put up a good fight. Got to tell you guys a little bit more about this game, some keys to victory, and even more. But really first want to take a moment to thank today's presenting sponsor, Chubbies Shorts. And fellas, if you're trying to give your girl a little chubby, you should pick up the new Everywhere joggers. I absolutely love the Comfort collection from Chubbies. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. And y'all know Maddie and I are going to be going on all sorts of fun dates this fall. We're going to pumpkin patches, going to haunted houses, fall photo shoots, yada, yada, yada. Just trying to make her happy, be a good boyfriend. But look, here's the thing. I'm not trying to sacrifice my comfort. I want to look good and feel good. So you want to know where I'm rocking my Everywhere joggers? You guessed it, everywhere. So I know your fall wardrobe needs an update. Trizzy always has the hookup. Head over to chubbyshorts.com/chatsports to now get 20% off your order for a limited time. The leaves are turning, the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. And I know that you guys are also going to be getting dragged to all those dates, the photo shoots, the pumpkin patches, farmers markets, and all that kind of stuff. But again, that doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. That doesn't mean you have to sacrifice comfort. Chubbies is here to make sure that you look good and feel great with their soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. Y'all have complimented me a ton on the Chubbies gear that I rock here on Saints Now by Chat Sports, and you too can get some new Chubbies gear. If you click the link in the comments or description of this video, go to chubbyshorts.com/chat sports and you'll get 20% off your order. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chat sports. Support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubbies and let them know that we sent you. Let's get into my second key to victory. You have to stop Drake MAye running. Look. Death taxes Saints struggling against somewhat mobile quarterbacks. It doesn't matter if you are Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter if you're Mac Jones. It doesn't matter if you're Daniel Jones. I don't really care. For some reason, the New Orleans Saints are allergic to tackling even slightly mobile quarterbacks. You can't let Drake MAye run. Just going to go ahead and say that right now. One time, can't let it happen. You got to get after him. You got to bring him down. You got to get that sack production. And if Chase Young is available and he's able to play, that is only going to help. You need Chase Young to bring Drake MAye down. You need Carl Granderson to bring Drake MAye down. You need Cam Jordan to bring Drake MAye down. You need Brian Brzee, Nathan Shepard. You need all of these guys to actually get after the quarterback. Because if you let Drake MAye run the ball and you let him break away, he will make you pay for it. 110 yards on the ground, 27 carries, 2 touchdowns this season so far, just with his legs. Almost, or a little over 4 yards per carry, over 20 yards per game. You just got to limit it. The Saints have given up 146 rushing yards to quarterbacks. I can't believe that's even a real number. Like, the fact that that is a real number is unbelievable. And if you don't believe me, I went and added up the rushing yards from all of the quarterbacks that have had any rushing yards against the Saints thus far. 146. Let's stop that. Just a crazy idea. Maybe we should stop giving up rushing yards to quarterbacks. And also maybe we should bring them down on third down. That would be really cool. Just a hot take. Want to consider it. The next big thing is creating explosive plays. This is a big one. Creating explosive plays is not limited to just the offense. Creating explosive plays also is a part of the side of the defensive side of the football. Winning the turnover battle, you can easily do that by creating explosive plays. The offense, I want to start there. The playbook you're now starting to see, it's opening up. You're starting to see more and more creativity. You're starting to see more motion. You're starting to see more usage. You're starting to see the stars and the talent on the roster have plays schemed up for them. You're really starting to see the emergence of Kendre Miller. Chris Olave has been getting a ton of targets. Juwan Johnson, although he hasn't really been hot in the past few weeks, he was a very active part in the receiving game for the New Orleans Saints. The playbook and Kellen Moore, they are starting to open up a lot more. And as the season continues to progress, you will see that happen even more. The team needs to find their identity, and they are creating that. They're running the football a lot. They're starting to get more efficient with the passing game. They just have to find ways to complete and finish drives, because I think that there's a problem where they stall out too often and don't finish the drive with 6 points or with touchdowns, rather with a field goal attempt that half the time doesn't even go through. Now let's go to the defense here. I like that the defense has adopted this mentality of bend, don't break. I'm okay with giving up a bunch of yards you don't give up points. I'm okay with giving up a bunch of yards if you punch out the football on the 3-yard line or the 15-yard line and run it back 80-plus yards. That's pretty cool. That being said, it would be nice and a lot less stressful to not give up all those yards every single game. That being said, bend but don't break. You can give up yards. You can give up plays. You can give up chunks here and there. But attack the football. Be aggressive in forcing turnovers. Fly towards the ball carrier. Make them pay for earning 1 yard. Go and be aggressive, because I think that is a way that the New Orleans Saints can really strike a strong identity on the defensive side of the football by being a team that forces a ton of turnovers, that hits you hard. It's flying all over the field. I would love to see the Saints defense continue to stay hot, because I think that they've done a good job of getting hot. Now back to the offensive side of the football. Offense, create explosive plays. Hear me out. Defense, go create explosive plays. Get those turnovers. Now go back to the offense here. Whenever the defense does have good play here and they do force turnovers, or they do create stops, or they do only give up 3 points, the offense now needs to turn around and go respond and play complementary football. Go capitalize on the gifts that your defense gives you. 3 points is a gift in the National Football League. Good field position is a gift in the National Football League. A 3-and-out is a gift in the National Football League. Go capitalize on those. Stop wasting opportunities. So be explosive on offense, be explosive on defense, and for the love of God, when you are explosive, stop wasting your opportunities. How many times have we seen a nice chunk of yardage be gained, and then we don't even get a field goal out of it? I can already name 3 or 4 times just that come to the top of my head. Defensively, how many times have we given up huge amounts of yards, and then, you're actually playing something good, and then the defense just can't go and put up points? Happens too often. So for me, I want to see this team be more explosive all over the board. And I also want you to let me know, who do you want to see score a touchdown this week? I'm going to give you my answer. You can see it on your screen, but I want you to shout out and tell me one player that you would like to see find the end zone against the New England Patriots. I would like to see Rashid Shaheed get another deep shot. I just would. I think it would be so much fun to see another 80-yard touchdown to Rashid Shaheed. Hell, 40-plus yards. Probably going to start losing my mind. I just need another one, but let me know what you would like to see. Taysom Hill touchdown, that would really add some juice to this game. I'm telling you right now, that would be a fun one to see. Kendre Miller, Foster Moreau maybe? Who knows? We'll have to see. Taysom Hill, though, would be sick. All righty, let's get to the next one. Kendre Miller, I think you need to feed this player. I'm going to be honest. I've been really, really impressed. I can't speak today, Lopez. I've been really impressed with number 5. Kendre Miller, you've been able to see him emerge each and every week, and he's been more and more leaned on as the season progresses, and you can tell that the Saints are having more trust in him as the season continues to go on as well. In week 1, 14.7% of offensive snaps were played. Week 2, 15.5. Week 3, that number goes up to 27.4. Then that number goes up to 31. Then that number goes up to almost 40%. So to me, that says Kendre Miller is earning the trust of the Saints offense. They're starting to shift their gears to feed this player more regularly and use Alvin Kamara as the lead back and as somebody who can be an excellent game-changing weapon at any moment in time. And you can see the usage has increased in each week. The statistics, although you may sit here and say, don't look great, I will tell you are much, much better than what the numbers show. The eye test is what you need to use with Kendre Miller. How many times have we seen him get hit in the backfield and fight for extra yards? How many times have we seen him get those extra few yards and break a tackle because he just has that much effort? You're going to see Kendre Miller emerge. You're going to see that continue to happen. And I think that he is a player who deserves more opportunities. And quite frankly, he should be getting these reps because he has so much tread on the tires, and he can be somebody who takes a lot of hits. And so with Alvin Kamara, by no means am I saying take reps away from him, but what I am saying is limit the unnecessary and extra hits that AK has to take so you can maximize them throughout the season. It's no mystery. There's been some drop issues with Alvin Kamara, and I don't think that that's anything other than just he's not keeping his eye on the football. He's trying to turn upfield and make a play too much. But I will say, with Kendre Miller, he's playing such good football, I don't think you need to lean on Alvin Kamara every single time you need a few yards. let him just be the guy who breaks the game open and is explosive when you need him to be, and let Kendre Miller take a lot of those hits. I think that just makes more sense, at least in my personal opinion, especially because Kendre Miller is younger and just has the ability to take that kind of wear and tear, if you will. Now, I think the last thing for me is just playing cleaner football. This was a key to victory against the Giants. It worked last time. Do it again this time. Fun fact, the New England Patriots are second to last in total penalties. The New Orleans Saints, not too much better than that. But we're going to talk penalties in a second. Special teams. Special teams. Phil Galliano, figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. Figure it out. Blake Griffin needs to stop missing field goals. Kai Kroger hasn't punted a ton. Get the ball away. Have better protection. When you do kick the ball and when you do punt the ball, tackle the ball carrier. Tackle the returner. What are we doing here? Special teams is just about one of the most not easy, but it's one of the easiest places to just win or lose games because it's like I heard somebody in the office today say that it's like free throws. Having bad special teams is like missing free throws in the NBA. It's just unacceptable. Like, these guys are professionals. Kick the ball through the upright or don't have a job. Tackle the return man or don't have a job. Punt the ball away. Block better. Stop getting penalties on special teams. Phil Galliano, figure it out. For what it's worth, Galliano today, he said that the hold on the first Blake group he missed had a little bit of lean to it, but said that the issue is mostly groupie struggling. Phil Galliano also said that they'll support groupie and try to help him get out for now, but said, quote, like any player, groupie has to find his way out of it at some point. So, I do think that there is some frustration boiling in New Orleans, and I do think that there are some opinions starting to be formed, and there's some thoughts out there of, you know what, we got to get better, we got to get more consistent, because at the end of the day, missing a bunch of field goals just isn't going to do it. We talked about penalties. The New Orleans Saints have a lot of penalties, but the New England Patriots somehow have more. 346 yards to 295 is also a huge, huge difference. So when the New Orleans Saints are playing against the Patriots, do what you did against the Giants. Let them commit all the penalties. Let them give up the big chunk plays. Let them make the mistakes. Let them play the sloppy football. Just get out of their way. Let them do it. You don't have to be the ones who's problematic, because the New Orleans Saints are coming off of a fun win. They're coming off of a game where they got to see their confidence soar. You got to see the vibes skyrocket in the locker room. Ride that momentum. Keep it going. Keep on improving. Each week this team has gone out there outside of the Seattle Seahawks game. They have gotten better. And even after the travesty that was the Seattle Seahawks game, you saw them improve in the following weeks. I want to see them continue to keep improving. I want to see them, now that they are a little hot, continue to get hotter and stay hot. And that right there is how I think the New Orleans Saints can get the win today. Or again, not today, but against the Patriots. Let's just get this one done. I am not able to speak today. I'm so sorry, y'all. Predict the score for me before we hop on out of here. Saints versus Patriots. We're going to give you guys our score predictions here in just one moment. I'll give you a second. 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember, Patriots 3.5-point favorites. Also, the line was set at 46.5. So let me know what you guys think. Alrighty, our predictions here on the show. I have the New Orleans Saints winning 24-20. I don't think this is going to be a super duper high scoring game. 24-20 is what I got the New Orleans Saints going with. I think that there will be some points, but I do think that it might be a little bit of a struggle. And I just don't see Blake Grupe making every single one of his field goals. There would be more points, but.
Well, that's what I accounted for in my prediction. I got 34 for the Saints. Blake Grupe's missing an extra point somewhere. But I'm waiting for that offensive explosion. We're getting there. It seems like we got close there last week. We definitely had opportunities where we left a bunch of points on the board. Mm-hmm. So I don't think 34 is crazy.
No. And I think that if you were to have more of those explosive plays and you limit those mistakes and you finish those drives, make some of those field goals, you do have the ability to put up a ton of points. You've seen the Saints move the ball well. They just can't finish drives. So if they can finally do that and Kellen Moore can take a little more of a step than he already has and the offense can continue to identify their strengths and appeal to those, I think that this could be a really good matchup for the Saints and for the Patriots. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, this has been... as always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Sorry, the injury report just came in. Wanted to make sure you guys understand this really quickly. Full participant, Trevor Penning, he was a limited participant on Wednesday. He is upgraded to full participant on Thursday. Justin Reed was upgraded from limited to full participant on Thursday. Cesar Ruiz upgraded from limited to a full participant on Thursday as well. Everything else in there is the exact same, and that is why you subscribe to Saints Now. Appreciate you for rocking and rolling with us, and we will see you next time.